For the JTV News Caribbean Report, I'm Ino Soman. The St. Lucia-based Eastern Caribbean Telecommunications Authority, ECTEL, says it has written to the Irish-owned telecommunications company Digicel, warning against plans to implement its ad control technology. The letter comes in response to a September 30th media release titled, Digicel, first operator to implement ad control technology to improve customer experience and help drive broadband access. According to the release, Digicel intends to deploy an ad control technology at the network level across the globe to improve customer experience and encourage major international companies such as Google, Facebook, and Yahoo to help connect 4.2 billion unconnected people. But ECTEL said it strongly opposes the method being used by Digicel to achieve this objective. In a letter, ECTEL reiterates an earlier position on net neutrality, which states that service providers should treat all data on the internet the same, not intercepting, interrupting, blocking, degrading, or discriminating. It said that interception of any communication without the consent of the receiving party breaches the Telecommunications Act and amounts to a breach of the operator's license. ECTEL is therefore advising Digicel to adhere to the stated principles of net neutrality and to refrain from deploying its ad control technology within ECTEL member states. And in related news, as of Sunday, November 1st, telecommunications company Flow increased the prices for broadband packages in the region. ECTEL, telecommunications regulator for the Eastern Caribbean states, is currently reviewing electronic communications bill and moves to strengthen the legal and regulatory framework. More in this report from HTS News Force.
The Eastern Caribbean Telecommunications Authority, ECTEL, is continuing the review of the new Electronic Communications Bill. Managing Director for ECTEL, Ember Charles, says the Electronics Communications Bill is intended to replace the Telecommunications Act 31 of 2000. The Comment Flow, which is a subsidiary of Columbus International, recently announced a price increase in Flow broadband services effective Sunday, November 1st, 2015. The announcement has ruffled the feathers of Flow's customer base, with many citing the move as a sign of things to come with the impending Flow Cable and Wireless merger.
There was a commitment by the representative of the merging parties, who is Phil Bentley, the CEO of Cable and Wireless Holdings, who has clearly indicated that there will not be any new services at new prices being offered, which will be disadvantage to customers compared to what they are being offered now. In our view, any price increase on a service now is a disadvantage. You're paying more. So we think that that is a reason for us to make a very strong comment and to support what the ministers have said in St. Kitts.
The proposed Columbus Cable and Wireless acquisition is valued at a whopping $3 billion. Cable and Wireless currently serves over 5.6 million customers, while Columbus has a 700,000 customer base. Following the review, ECTEL will submit the EC bill license template and license application form to the Council of Ministers for its recommendation for adoption in the ECTEL member states.
The fact is, you can have 3 providers doing TV, but 2 of them just have 1% of the market. So you still have a significant provider who can determine what happens in the market by their behavior. And that is where new rules have to come into place. We may decide to set price caps, we may decide to set other price regulations, so that at least they are aware that they cannot behave as if that there's a free market. Because additionally, once you have locked down the market, you have limited choice of consumers. So
it has been suggested that ECTEL lacks the legislative teeth to curb the monopolization of the telecommunications industry. However, Ember Charles says there are steps that can be taken to curb the indiscriminate fee hike by any telecommunications company in the region.
I feel it is in breach of a fundamental principle that we have agreed to with the providers, and that's why at the level of the ministers they were concerned and have sent a very strong message to the providers. What happens next, we really can't discuss strategy going forward, because it's essentially strategy, but we have some indication of how we intend to deal with it. What we can tell you is that Grenada has the legal teeth through its revised legislation to act on it, and the Grenada Commission has taken certain steps to block the increase.
flow has been criticized by regional heads, including Sustainable Development Minister Dr. James Fletcher.
The Guyana government says Mexico has indicated a willingness to fast-track an agreement to purchase paddy rice from the Caribbean country. A statement released by the Office of the Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu said that Mexico's Agriculture Minister Jose Calzada has given the assurance that he would fast-track arrangements to buy Guyana's rice. The statement quoted him as saying that he would also seek to encourage the private sector to enter into contracts with Guyanese millers. The David Granger administration has been seeking new markets after the country recorded increased rice production and a decision by Venezuela not to renew an agreement under which Guyana's rice was exported to Venezuela in exchange for energy products. Guyana's rice production in the first half of 2015 was 15.3% more than last year's record high first half production. The Ralph Gonsalves-led ruling Unity Labour Party ULP moved into campaign mode with a major convention in April this year as it kicked off its bid for a fourth consecutive term. But up to news time, Prime Minister Gonsalves has kept the actual date for elections close to his chest, although many speculate it could be in early December.
Change from that which is on the upswing improving in the country. Change from a party with a vision and a philosophy about our possibilities and design practical programs and policies to effect those changes to improve our lives. Change from that to the NDP, which has no policies and no plans. They want you to buy a pig in a bag.
Opposition leader and president of the NDP in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Honorable Arnheim Eustace, says his party is ready to expand the Vincentian economy into new areas if elected to office.
For the banana farmer who has been abandoned, we say, hold on, help is on the way. For the young men and women who graduated from college more than 6 years ago in some cases and still have not found any job, hold on, help is on the way. For the people needing quality medical care, we say, hold on, help is on the way.
And the first direct roaming service agreement between U.S. firm Sprint and Cuba's state communications company ECTEXA was signed on Monday at the Havana International Trade Fair. According to NBC News, the agreement enables Sprint customers to make and receive calls, send and receive text messages, and transmit data through ECTEXA network using their own mobile phones. ECTEXA said that services will begin once technical testing is done and financial details are solved. Payments for services will be through third countries' banks and without the use of dollars because of the U.S. embargo rules. The U.S. was one of 70 countries participating in Havana's international fair. I'm Ino Soman for the JTV News Caribbean Report.
And coming up next on JTV News, we need healthier diets and more physical activity because diabetes is affecting more people here in the BVI. In this week's Hot Trends segment, Dexter Daps chats with Sophie B.